This investigation is not just about one man. It's about a wider network that uses traditional values to mask modern-day racial hatred.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. Tonight, we look behind the sacred walls of a village church to expose a shocking case of hidden racial prejudice. Breaking news tonight regarding disturbing allegations of racism centered in a historic Surrey church.
Before we reveal this disturbing investigation, join our community to ensure that justice is never silenced by those in positions of high power. With us today is Layla, who dedicated her life to her local parish, only to be met with systemic racism from the very man leading it.
Thank you, Sarah. I thought the house of God was a sanctuary for everyone, regardless of their background, but I was proven wrong.
It is a heavy realization, Lila. Tell our viewers, when did you first notice that the vicar's attitude toward you was rooted in racial bias?
It started with subtle remarks about my heritage not belonging in such a traditional English setting. He slowly moved me to the shadows.
So he used the excuse of tradition to mask his blatant racism. This is a pattern we see all too often in these ancient institutions.
When I complained about the lack of diversity in our outreach programs, he told me that people like me should be grateful just to be there.
People like me, those words are a direct assault on human dignity. Tonight, we are going to show that no one is above the law.
We are now crossing live to the scene. Inspector Watson and his team have arrived in Surrey to execute a high-priority search warrant. The peaceful silence of this village is being broken tonight as the authorities move in to recover evidence of organised racial hatred.
This is the moment of truth. The police are forced to use entry tools as the vicar refuses to comply with the federal investigators. Seeing him like that, it's painful but necessary. He used his pulpit to spread light while his private life was filled with dark prejudice. It is a profound betrayal of trust, Lila.
Yeah.
But tonight, the law is finally stepping into the places where racism thought it could hide. We have found the hidden compartment. The evidence of systematic racial exclusion and hateful communication is all here. This evidence is crucial. It proves that what Layla faced wasn't just an isolated incident, but part of a much larger, darker agenda. The community is in shock. No one suspected that such a respected figure could harbor such deep-seated racial animosity against his own staff.
My heart is heavy for the church, but my soul is finally at peace. The truth can no longer be buried under stained glass.
A powerful conclusion to the first phase of this raid. Stay with us as we uncover the shocking content of those hidden letters.
We have decoded the encrypted files, Vicar. These emails to extrude, you are actively working to exclude.
As the evidence mounts, we ask you to support our mission. Join our investigative community today to help us expose those who abuse their sacred power.
Layla, the investigation has uncovered a network of systemic bias that goes far beyond just one church. How do you feel seeing this digital proof?
It's devastating, Sarah. To think that while he was preaching love on Sundays, he was typing messages of hate and exclusion during the rest of the week.
This ledger confirms that funds meant for community diversity programs were being diverted to support fringe political groups with racist agendas.
This is no longer just a case of personal prejudice. This is financial fraud fueled by deep-seated racial animosity and a betrayal of the public's trust.
The net is widening. The church treasurer has also been detained for questioning regarding the misappropriation of these essential community funds.
They thought I was just a simple worker who wouldn't notice. They didn't realize that I kept records of every meeting and every suspicious transaction.
Documentation is the ultimate shield for the vulnerable. Layla's bravery in keeping these records is what allowed the police to act with such precision tonight.
We are witnessing the dismantling of a corrupt power structure. Stay with us as we head into the next phase of this shocking legal battle. We are moving to the high security facility. The evidence is solid and we are prepared for the formal charging of the suspect.
The formal charges are being drafted as we speak. This is a clear signal that no institution, no matter how ancient, can hide its racism anymore. It's a sad sight to see the church taped off, but the spiritual rot inside had to be removed so that true faith could breathe again. We are the only ones bringing you these live updates from the heart of the investigation. Subscribe now to stand with us against systemic racial hate.
The contrast is stark. A man of the cloth, now a prisoner of his own prejudice. How will the village ever recover from such a deep betrayal?
This investigation is not just about one man. It's about a wider network that uses traditional values to mask modern-day racial hatred.
This is the investigative breakthrough we were waiting for. The truth is finally surfacing from the depths of those cold stone walls in Surrey.
I feel a sense of justice for my ancestors today. They were told to stay quiet, but I decided that my voice...
A new dawn for accountability is breaking, but the trial that lies ahead will test the very foundations of this community's sense of justice.
The legal proceedings have now reached the highest level, and the evidence recovered from the church cellar is about to be presented to the judge.
Before the final verdict is delivered, join our mission. Your engagement ensures that no religious or social position can protect a criminal today.
I spent 20 years following that man's guidance, never realizing that he viewed my very existence as a threat to his pure tradition.
Breaking news from the courthouse.
We found documented evidence that the suspect was using church channels to spread extremist racial ideologies to young, vulnerable followers.
This is a chilling revelation. To use a place of worship as a breeding ground for racial hatred is an ultimate betrayal of the British public.
They call it freedom of speech, but we know it was a weapon of exclusion. Hate speech has no place under the roof of a sanctuary. The physical evidence recovered during the high-priority raid left the defense with no room to hide behind their traditionalist excuses tonight.
The moment of reckoning has arrived. The High Court is ready to deliver a verdict that will resonate through every parish across the United Kingdom.
Guilty on all counts, the suspect has been sentenced to 10 years for incitement of racial hatred and massive financial fraud of community funds.
This is not just my victory, Sarah. This is for every person of color who was ever made to feel like they didn't belong in God's house.
This case proves that the law in Britain is blind to status. No collar or title will ever be a shield for organised racial discrimination.
As we conclude this intense investigation, let us remember that the strength of our nation lies in our diversity and absolute human equality.
The church can finally breathe again. The stained glass is no longer a mask for hatred, but a window to a more inclusive future. Your courage to stand against such a powerful figure has truly paved the way for a more honest and transparent religious leadership in Britain. I am walking back to my community today knowing that our voices matter, no matter how small or marginalized they might have once seemed. Do not let the fight for true equality stop here today. Join our movement and help us build a Britain where everyone belongs equally.
The unique way you connected your personal faith with the demand for legal justice is something that will definitely resonate for a very long time.
Do not let the fight for true equality stop here today. Join our movement and help us build a Britain where everyone belongs equally.
The unique way you connected your personal faith with the demand for legal justice is something that will definitely resonate for a very long time.
And our work continues. We are investigating several other branches linked to the same extremist network uncovered during this village church raid.
I will never lose my faith, but I have learned that even in the most sacred places, we must remain vigilant against the shadows of hate.
This investigation has proven that no shadow is dark enough to hide the truth when brave individuals decide to speak out against organized prejudice.
Every single ancient street in Britain has a unique story, and today, my story became a powerful chapter in our nation's pursuit of justice.
You have earned this moment of peace, Lila. Your journey through the darkness of prejudice has led us all toward a brighter, fairer reality. The way you stood your ground against a man of such high social standing is something that will inspire countless others to find their voice. Understanding our inner strength is the only effective way to navigate the complexities of our difficult times with clarity and profound wisdom.
Justice has been served in Surrey today, but our eyes remain open for any sign of racial prejudice hidden in our communities.
Indeed, our British society is never truly static. It evolves every single time we dare to ask the right and difficult questions about racism.
To all our dedicated viewers, we sincerely hope this investigative journey through the shadows of the church has sparked a new light within you. Keep seeking the profound truth behind the shadows, for every single person deserves to be treated with absolute fairness and human dignity.
If you valued this deep dive into the fight for racial equality today, do join our community as we continue uncovering justice together.
Until we meet again in our next program, stay connected with the strength of the truth. Allah Negeban.